In this series, we visit the incredible Lofoten Islands in Norway. Although typically a winter destination, we visited in the height of summer to see this incredible landscape during the midnight sun. Join us on the first few days of our epic road trip to these unique islands. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to Norway. Norway has been on the bucket list for me for quite some time, and we've specifically come to the northern part and to the Lofoten Islands area, but I'm actually in Senja at the moment, and we've got a wonderful small town behind me. We actually arrived here early in the morning after driving about 2 or 3 hours from the airport, and it was a spectacular drive. We managed to witness the midnight sun because we've come here about middle of June. The sun never sets, which is quite a spectacular sight, although quite confusing for the body clock, I think. And yeah, we just got 3 or 4 hours of beautiful golden sunlight as we drove over, and it was really amazing. We had to keep stopping off and taking in the views, and hence why we got here quite late, but yeah, really good nonetheless. Just woken up about 7:30, so I've just come out and had a little bit of a walk just to wake up a bit. We're not going to be here long, probably going to be heading off in a few hours time, but what I originally wanted to see was the Svolvær mountaintop. Unfortunately we got here a little bit too late, so even if we did it, we'd be exhausted and some of the golden light would have disappeared. So we decided not to do that, and instead just had a walk around this beautiful town. Sort of really lucky, I think, that we've got some beautiful weather on our first day here. The plan for today is we're going to drive a little bit more west, right to the tip of Senja, and catch a ferry to the next island. You can drive, it's a little bit longer, but it's not as scenic. So the ferries aren't that regular. I think there's one every 2 or 3 hours, and you have to queue up. It's first come, first serve, so we might have to do a bit of planning to make sure that we get there on time. And then yeah, we're going to head down to a place called Svolvær, I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, throughout this whole trip I'm going to be terrible pronouncing things, so don't expect me to get it right. And then yeah, we're going to be there for 2 nights, so yeah, this is very much a stop off along the way. And a great way to drive from Tromso all the way down to the Lofoten Islands. We're going to be staying in Norway for 7 nights, which seemed like the right amount of time for this trip. A lot of people I've seen tend to do, a couple of weeks around these areas, but for me that sort of seemed a little bit too much. But the way we're doing it means that we get a couple of days on each of the main islands of the Lofoten Islands, and so yeah, hopefully getting a good kind of well-rounded experience without getting bored or a little bit samey. And it's been a while since we've done a sort of proper road trip where we've gone from A to B to C. Looking forward to getting started with this trip.
Always in bloom, always in bloom for you. So many times I'm stranded, a castaway.
And we've come to the Devil's Jaw, I think they call this bit. And yeah, the reason why it's got that name is in the distance beyond where I am, there's these really sharp, jagged peaks. So beautiful. So many little pools on the rocky beach here. So yeah, that's just what I'm photographing at the moment. But yeah, it's so still. Not a breath of wind. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm keeping my eye out on the sea every now and again, just to see if there are any whales or seals or anything, because apparently they do come out this way quite often. So yeah, hopefully we see something. I've seen on social media and things that some of the orcas do swim between the Lofoten Islands, so I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. So we've arrived at the place where we're getting the ferry across to the other island, and got here with plenty of time. Unusually, you can't book a ferry ticket before you come here. It's based on a first come first serve. So yeah, we got here a couple of hours early just to guarantee a spot, because otherwise it's quite a long drive round to get to where we need to be. Plus, when we get to the other side and drive down to Svolvær, it's a spectacular drive, much more scenic than the longer way round, so it's a win-win. But yeah, I was just conscious to park our car in the line and make sure that we got our spot. But yeah, bit of a tip there. Apparently all ferries in Norway are like that. So yeah, we've got a couple of hours to kill, and yeah, pretty good place to do it.
It was soon time for us to board the ferry, and the whole experience was really easy and straightforward. Payment is based on the number plate, and the fee would come out of the deposit that we left with the car rental. Once we parked, we then enjoyed the views and the sun from the rooftop. It was a nice experience to take the ferry, and it made it feel like a real adventure. Seeing the mountain range from this perspective was really good as well. After about an hour and 45 minutes, we arrived at the town of Andenes to begin a 3-hour drive to our accommodation in Svolvær. As soon as we got off the boat, I noticed how different the landscape was. Compared to the other islands, this landscape was much flatter and more open. As we progressed on our journey, I couldn't help but pull over and take some drone footage of this amazing road infrastructure. We eventually made it to Svolvær, and that evening we walked into town to grab some traditional food, which was really good.
So what you can see behind me is the midnight sun, and I've come to a really pretty little town. I won't bother pronouncing it, I'll pop it up on screen. And yeah, really cool.
decided to come to this town this evening. This wasn't my plan to come here the next day, but the town we're staying in, where the hotel is, it's not as picturesque as I thought it might be. It's it's very much kind of a mix of the old and new, whereas I feel like this little town is a little bit more traditional, a little bit more photogenic as well. So yeah, just thought I'd come down here because I couldn't really see any opportunities where I was staying. But yeah, really glad I came out actually. Getting a perfect reflection on the water, and got the drone up as well. Got some really cool shots of there's a little football pitch way out on one of the islands, and yeah, it just looks incredible. What an amazing evening / morning of photography. I came to this little church here, actually found it on Google Maps and just saw an image and it looked quite interesting, and it's not a location that I've seen that often, particularly photographers, so really pleased to come here and find that it is absolutely amazing. Scenery is unreal. I think there's everything you could ask for in terms of landscape photography. It's got amazing foreground, these really interesting rocks, and yeah, it's kind of dotted with some grass in between the cracks, and yeah, obviously got this amazing church in the midground, and then there's that mountain in the back there, and together it is phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a better overall composition so far on this trip. Yeah, to top it all off, I'm getting 3-4 hours of golden light. It's just so special. There's not a breath of wind as well. I don't think there's been a breath of wind since we've got here. I'm sure it will change in a few days' time, but it's such a relaxing place to be. The sun it's quite amazing, really. You know, you have to see it to believe it, but it just hovers along the horizon. I just spotted a Norwegian moose. Yeah, we've seen plenty of warning signs on the road for these animals, and I haven't seen any. But yeah, that was amazing. They're really still and really calm. They just sort of walk through the field, and yeah, I managed to kind of walk slowly towards them, and got the long lens on my camera, so managed to get a few shots, which I didn't think I'd be getting that sort of thing tonight, but wow, that was incredible. And that wraps up the first part of this Lofoten trip. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the future episodes.